Welcome to your Gas It Out intro. This is a polite public service announcement to all those websites who are inevitably going to lift some of the quotes from this exclusive and revealing chat with MotoGP's Mr. Nice Guy Danilo Petrucci. Of course, we don't mind you using the quotes. They're out there in the public domain and some of them are blooming good, but the least you could do is give the pod a plug. Come on, not much to ask, is it? Just a little name check like... I know Gas It Out is making waves as the podcast of choice for discerning motorcycle racing fans. You know, something low-key like that. There's not even much swearing in this one. In fact, I think it's only Danilo who crosses the pre-watershed forbidden word line on one occasion. So maybe add Gas It Out. Fun for all the family. Something like that. Oh, and hashtag kegs. Cheers. Enjoy. We have just finished. Welcome to Gas It Out, by the way. Sorry, we were just too busy chatting then.
Usual.
Standard. We've actually just spent 2 hours on air together chatting too, which, was good fun, actually. We went back to 2017, if you haven't watched The Greatest Years on BT Sport this week. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I think you said it at the end of the programme, because we've just come off air. That was Ducati's best chance, or the one where they've been the most solid throughout the year. And I remember comments they made at the end of that year where they were like, we just need to tighten things up at a couple of races like Phillip Island where it doesn't quite work for us and we'll have a shot. But it hasn't happened like that, has it? It hasn't worked like that.
No, it hasn't. And like I said 20 minutes ago, I don't agree with Tardozzi. And I get on really well with Davide. He's the Ducati team manager. He basically said on our programme that Ducati have always wanted, and we've heard this for years, they want Dovi to have a bit more killer instinct and be a bit more aggressive. And the problem is, if you ride like that, you will make more mistakes. And Dovi's strength is his consistency. He's there at the end of a championship because he's taken a third, he's taken a fifth when it's not quite happening. But the problem is they want Marc Marquez. Don't they? But everyone wants a Marc Marquez, but there's only one of them. So
the other side to that for me is that the problem for Dovi actually a lot of times has been he's been taken out. It's been one or two races every year where he gets taken out, and his consistency falls flat when you don't have the consistency. If that makes sense.
Exactly.
Where you get those couple of zeros that haven't been his fault, whether it be Aleix Espargaro taking him out, as happened, I think, in 2017. Whoever has done it over the years, he's come a cropper, whether it be Jorge Lorenzo, whatever, you know?
I tell you what was funny, though, watching 2017 back and watching Lorenzo not pull over for his teammate for Ducati, you're like, mate, come on. They've given you a signal on the pit board. They've put it on the dashboard.
Mapping
8 means move over. We found out what that meant, so we're 100% accurate on that one. And nah, don't think I'll move over. I'll just be selfish. It's like, mate, come on. Brilliant. Oh my God, I would have been so pissed off with him after that race. If I was Ducati.
I was so tempted on air to say, it was just repayment for 2015 and that dinner in Andorra after we did 2015 a couple of years ago. Got slated, as always happens. The other thing that came out, actually, and it's pertinent to the interview we're about to do now, which is with one of our favourite characters in the paddock, is about another of the favourite characters, another of our favourites, Jack Miller. And Davide Tardozzi saying on our programme to us live that... We're talking to Jack Miller. Nothing's been sorted. It's going to be 2 of the 5 riders we've currently got. But we're talking to Jack and something should be decided in a couple of weeks. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. The way he worded it, he wasn't saying, look, because if there wasn't going to change Danilo for Jack, what he should have said is, look, there's been no races yet this year. We are still in a position where we don't have to rush, because basically the big guns have already been signed up. Ducati are they're not in a good position because they've missed an opportunity of signing some good riders. But now they can evaluate their riders to see what the performance is like this year. But instead, he didn't say any of that. He just went, well, we're talking to Jack. Nothing's been signed. So,
but you think they'd have learned from their mistake, wouldn't you, with Jorge Lorenzo and signing people before people have had the chance to get into the rhythm of the year? And if we've got a shortened year, you can push it right to the end. All right, sort out Dovey, sort out what you're going to do there. Are you going to keep him or are you going to look to put fresh blood in? Because we're assuming Danilo, because we've read all sorts about World Superbikes. But surely you learn that lesson from what happened back in after Mugello, back in wherever it was, 2018.
Yeah, you would think so. It's funnily enough, I was on the phone to my dad last night. We were chatting about it, and my dad said, "Well, would they not consider signing Lorenzo?" And I thought, no. And then as we're talking about it, I'm thinking, so you've got Jack Miller, who we love, right? Jack Miller's never had a strong season. He's had good races, but he's too inconsistent. He finished 8th in the championship last year. Danilo, in his first year of the championship on a factory bike, was last year, and he finished 6th in the championship and won a race. So, but then I'm thinking, who are you going to get that's better than Dovey? Well, I don't think Jack is, as much as I love Jack, and I don't think Danilo is. So Dovey's your number one, but who's better? Well, I'd still say Lorenzo's. I know it's a couple of years on, and now he's retired, but if you offered Lorenzo a contract now, I think he'd take it because he already knows if he does want to race again, there are no doors open at Yamaha because all the rides are taken up.
I don't think your dad's far off the mark. It's actually something I thought when the deals were done at Yamaha. I instantly thought, well, Ducati, the doors have been closed to Maverick and Fabio. We know they were talking to. Well, you've got a proven race winner there with Jorge, who developed his style to suit your bike, and it worked, and it looked good. It was only stopped by injury.
Yeah, exactly. So, and a point to prove, and everything that's gone on. So maybe there is a surprise because there's talk about Ducati signing Jorge Martin because they're now looking for who's the next young fast kid from Moto2.
For me, that would be for Pramac. And you know the way Ducati do it is they look as a factory, don't they? They use Pramac as a right. We'll come and get you and put you in a holding pattern, which is, I suppose, Yamaha do the same, don't they? With that Petronas team, although that's looking more and more like Valentino Rossi will go there. But it just amazes me, Neil, that even though we're at a point where deals are normally getting done, it's around this point, you know, where the Italian Grand Prix will be happening. And in recent years, it used to always be Brno, used to be the point where you saw deals getting done. But now it's moved forward. We know that. But there hasn't been racing. Just wait for some racing.
Yeah, that's what, like I said, if I was Ducati, that's what I'd be doing. Because I've looked back, so I knew we were interviewing Danilo. So I've checked. Danilo's been good in the championship. It's easy to forget that last year was his first year on a factory, in the full factory team. He did bloody good. Yeah. Did bloody good. And look at the other races, right, from previous years when he was on the Pramac team. I don't know why I'm starting to shout, but I'm getting annoyed. But, like, he was good. Petrucci's always been good. He's getting faster and faster. I don't think he's peaked.
I will say for Tardozzi to be devil's advocate here, he said that Jack had a great end to the season. We know Danilo tailed off, didn't we, after his win last year? But I still feel that there's so much going on in a factory team. There's so much around that it is a first year with the team. Let him have a go for a second season.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is from the pair of us who at the time probably said, well, I think Jack's the better long-term option. But if you've made your choice with Danilo, you've got to stand behind these people. And that's something Ducati, I feel, hasn't supported people in the factory team enough. They've been quick to look elsewhere. Does that feel about right?
Yeah, they've got it wrong, haven't they? They've got it wrong on quite a few occasions.
I think that they're a lovely family environment. And everyone, you know yourself, you've been a factory Ducati rider. And it's a great atmosphere when everyone's behind you, but you do feel that their heads turn quickly.
Yeah. They are not the sort of girlfriend you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the everything's great and you're having the best sex ever, and then something happens, and then all of a sudden, what's happened?
I've never been married, so I don't know.
Hang on a minute. Have you ever had sex? Have you? What?
Let's definitely not get into that.
Have you?
It's slightly embarrassing. I won't be in my kecks. I've got my kecks on.
Oh my God!
Yeah, thanks to Ed. Cheers, Ed, for the kecks, and I love them.
Reaping the benefits of the sponsorship, flying in.
Boom. My lass says the ones that I've got on are garish. They're lively.
Oh my!
But there's actually the other ones that I've got are really good. I'm a massive fan. long in
Just
the leg.
explain to everyone. Explain, because people might not know what we're talking about.
Sorry. This is the sponsor that Neil has brought on board for this podcast. Getting big bucks for it. Got some pants sent to us by Ed Warren, who is a mate of all the Lowe's twins, Tommy Searle, that group, and yours, Neil. I won't say who it was, and he sent us some pants, and for me they're great. They're basically 300s. They're longer in the leg, and I love them because they don't ride. I'm just saying that as a big thighed man.
Yeah, just because you've not had sex, don't
Shush.
even,
Shush.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't embarrass me in front of everyone at home. Right. We said we'd speak to Danilo Petrucci very soon indeed. A quick word on him. I know we've spoken at length a little bit about him, but we talk about Frankie Morbidelli last time, chilled out but popular. Jack Miller, not chilled out, very popular. Danilo's got a bit of everything, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's the ultimate sort of people's champion. If you go in the press room, everyone loves him. He's the sort of guy, when you're walking through the paddock, you know the individuals, we know the characters, we know in the paddock people are under a lot of pressure, the riders are under a lot of pressure. Petrucci's the one, when me and Gav are walking in from the car park in the morning, he comes past you, he'll go out of his way to come over and say hello and tell you what's happening. He's happy-go-lucky. What annoys me about him is, or what people say about him is, I think he's just probably a bit too nice to be a champion. I tell you what, he's ruthless on the track. So that's people who don't know what they're talking about, because he is. In fact, it was not so long ago, that's Eugene Laverty. But he got quite a bad reputation at one stage, just being a little bit over-aggressive. But incredible rider, all-round good guy, and on the verge of being booted out of MotoGP. So it's going to be interesting to hear what he says in this interview.
Yeah, maybe
what he can tell us.
Maybe don't open with that, Neil.
I am crap, aren't I?
Maybe ease in a little bit before you dive 2-footed into that one. Hey,
so you going. Word of advice, Neil. Maybe don't go in with a kicking the bollocks question like as your first one. At least put a bit of lube on, though. We know what I mean.
We have to have another 10 minutes at least with him after that. The thing about him is he's come from a very different route into the sport. He was on a dog for 3 years on the Iota bike with BMW and Aprilia production engines in there, and was about to chuck in the towel, got given a lifeline by Ducati and Pramac. It's a great fairy tale story, and I'm sure Danilo will tell us about it. Let's get him on. Let's get him on. Let's fingers crossed that he answers. Oh, where we are. He might have joined. Oh my goodness me! Oh. Ciao, Danilo. He's outside under a canopy in beautiful blue skies. And he's got these big dark glasses on. He looks like something out of Guns N' Roses, or like a rock star.
Like a drug dealer. Yeah. Is he like a drug dealer?
Yes. Ciao Danilo.
Yeah. Ciao. How are you?
Molto bene, grazie. E te?
What?
Me too. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
And it is great to speak to you too, Danilo. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it interesting for Danilo a little bit. I'm going to put on my camera so that he can see me.
Right. Okay.
You can see. As you see, my girlfriend cut my hair. Right. So she's taken a lot.
You are lucky. I haven't. So I still cannot cut my hair.
You won't remember Leo Sayer, but it's very, very similar. It's not at all. It looks good, I have to say. But she seems to have. She missed a bit on the top of my head. It's all gone a little bit bald around there.
Right.
I have some spare in every case. I have some for you. In a few days, if you want, I have some spare.
I need it.
That's good. Need it. Danilo, you have hair everywhere, don't you? But anyway, listen. First of all, thank you for talking to us. We're excited to talk to you today. First question, I'm going to go straight in. Why have you not got a girlfriend? You're a MotoGP rider. You should have girls everywhere. What's happening?
No, I think it's important to when you ride in MotoGP to do everything you want connected to your work. It's racing now. So it's very difficult to be free and to spend a life with someone together. And but I must say that since many years I have like a very very good, not girlfriend but good friend. And
we understand. I know what you're saying.
And you understand. And the most important that is that she understands. So she understands me, and this is the most important thing. And, because it's very difficult. So I'm very lucky to.
It's like me and Gav. Me and Gav are the same, aren't we, Gav? Me and Gav, we're not going to get married, but we've got, we just know.
We both understand. That's the thing.
We both understand. Yeah.
No. Even if I live in Italy, 100 kilometers far from the Pope, I'm not gonna marry it in my life. But because I don't understand why you have to marry with someone. I mean, you can stay. You can stay with a woman for all your life and not getting married. I don't understand the thing.
I'm not in that boat either. And Neil will tell you not to get married, I'm sure, because he's already had his fingers burned once before.
Don't get me started on that. You're making me stressed. I'm getting stressed.
Danilo, it looks absolutely beautiful where you are. You're over in Terni, is that right? Are you still home where you were? I want to know, how's the gardening going? How are the trees looking? Because we saw you with the strimmer, the 2-stroke out, and you were digging holes as well. Did you get to plant the trees?
Yeah, I have a very very good. I'm very very happy. Sorry. Because these days, the previous days, the weather was not really good for 2-3 days with some showers and rains. But today, for example, it's already 28 degrees. And so I have some flowers. Because my mom at the end helped me during these days, and she cares a lot about this garden. She's really happy, first of all, to be at home with me, and was since many years that I wasn't at home for a long time. I think more than 15 years. So yeah, and the last 3 days I've been in Tuscany, another wonderful place like Umbria, where I live. And fortunately, here the situation is so for since some weeks there are 0 people affected by the virus. So the situation is we have no new cases since many weeks. So we are good. We can move good because we have been good during the quarantine. We respect a lot, even if we wasn't with a lot of people involved in this. And even in Tuscany, I've been riding 3 days with motocross bike with with a lot of friends, and especially riders from motocross and enduro that they are younger than me, even 10 years younger and 13 years younger. And it's incredible how the time is continuously moving, because it's very very different. The energy they put into the work, they have the double of the energy that I have because I am 30, but it's already 9 years in MotoGP. But it's a very very short time. I mean, they've been flying.
Imagine when you're 40 like me, and when you're 50 like
Yeah.
Neil. Imagine that.
Shut up.
You know what
I'm
happens.
not bloody 50 years old, you absolute pillock.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I'm pleased though, Danilo, that you've had to be out training and being able to get back out there, because it wasn't a nice time in Italy. We know for a while. We got all the stories, and I think recently we had it a little bit worse, didn't we? So in terms of training now, do you have like? Are you looking at July the 19th and Jerez? Is that a date you've got in a diary, and you're working on a plan, working towards that date?
Yeah, exactly. I was not able to ride anything for a long period, and I spent my time on the bike trainer. But just because we had to be at home, and a little bit of gym, but most of the time at home with the bike trainer. And then the most important thing, very, very far from the first race. I mean, was like in a normal situation, we was in November. I mean, what we're doing. I mean, the championship starts in January. In March, the first race. So very, very long time.
Yeah.
And now, I look like I mean, I think like the first race will be on the 19th of July in Jerez. I understood this still not confirmed.
Not yet.
But
not yet. They haven't. Yeah. The Spanish government still hasn't come back. But we're all hoping that happens. And if you're working towards that, that's good. I'd like to know, because there were it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, where you lost quite a bit of weight, and you have actually refined your training and your diet and everything over the last few years. I've been doing it myself. You might be able to see just slightly. I've lost 7 kilos now, but you lost, what was it at the time? So like 10 kilos, was it? What
since I started.
Was it
MotoGP,
food? Was it training? What was it that you did?
But if you, it's quite simple. I mean, if you have to lose weight, you have to introduce less into your body. It's not a diet or something. It's like physics, because
it's
the rule of no. It's then the problem is that for have training, for living the life, you spend energy. But the problem is that in the last 2 months I haven't trained the upper part of the body. Just the legs,
right,
with the bike trainer. Then since 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, I've been riding motocross bike, but I lost 2 or 3 kilos, but in the upper part. But it's difficult to join a really, really specific sport like motorbike that involves every muscle of the body. You have to train that feeling. I mean, move all your body, control the bike, riding in difficult situation, managing the anxiety. I'm managing. I mean, your body under stressful situation is the training for me is like that. Riding a bike, I'm lucky because I was riding motocross since I was young, and I have a lot of experience. I mean, it's very difficult to start riding motocross when you are maybe 20 or 25.
And you go out with Dovi a lot, don't you? Because he's a good motocrosser too. Have you been out? I don't know if you've been with him recently, but between the two of you,
in the last week, now we for the reason that we have to be more at home, and it's difficult even to move because most of the hotels are closed. So we have been around our home, and I sincerely haven't planned to move at the moment for the season. I mean, I want to understand when there will be a season. I mean, for understand where I want to live, if remain here in Terni or move it for league, more or less is 250 kilometers from Terni. I mean, I can move one day and stay at home. I mean, the problem is like I start training like the first race is the 19th of July. I hope so. I mean, it's the only thing we know.
Yeah.
Danilo, just going back to your weight. How many kilos do you weigh?
I weighed last time 79 kilos, and last season my weight was around 82.
Wow.
And,
so that's like.
The problem is that I'm recognizing. I was saying. I mean, if I want, I can. I don't like I was saying. I don't introduce food in my body, and I can lose a lot of weight. But I lost three kilos the last few months, and I struggle a bit on the bike.
Yeah.
And because I'm recognizing, I'm training with Alberto Forato, that is a motocross rider. He's a rookie in the World Championship this year, but the first race was sixth, first World Championship race, and he's he was born in 2000, 10 years younger than me, and his riding is very, very a lot of energy, because he's bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, when I was bigger, I felt really better riding a bike, because you have more muscles, and for motocross bike, the weight is not really important like in MotoGP. But the problem is ride a MotoGP bike for 45 minutes at the best of your performance, weighing the less possible. I mean, as less as possible, because I'm tall, and especially I'm for riding the bike. I don't, maybe because I was my riding style, because maybe I was riding motocross bike till 16 years old. I was racing motocross bike till 16, and I need more muscle maybe for riding more weight.
So just think though. So 80 kilos, around 80 kilos, is basically like 12 stone 5 pounds. I'm just converting it, and you're racing against some riders that are 60 kilos, and that's like 9 stone 5 pounds roughly. So you're giving away 3 stone, which is like a massive amount. What do you think
it's
that
like a
costs
suitcase.
you in time? Yeah, exactly, like a big suitcase. Do you think that in lap time? What do you think, Danilo?
It's I remember when Bautista was racing in MotoGP in 2018. We have maybe 16 kilos, 18 kilos. Sorry, 18 kilos is like a bag like this of water. And 20% of the time riding in the championship is an advantage, but the 80% of the time is a disadvantage. I mean, you have to do things differently. You have to approach something. You have to care more about something. I mean, if it's difficult in some situation to manage the tire till the end, for me it's even more difficult. But I'm not complaining about this, because I cannot do anymore. I mean, I'm doing every time little bit better. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, but I'm not complaining. I mean, if I want to lose 10 kilos again, 10 kilos, I have been able. But then I think I can ride for a lap.
Yeah.
MotoGP bike.
You lose your strength, and it's finding that balance, isn't it? And there's that, what you might not know, what people might not know at home, Neil, is that just like Ryanair, Ducati charge you £50 for every extra kilo, don't they? So, that's exactly what happens. But yeah, it's a fine line that you've got to tread there between the physical condition and physical strength, and also having it. And we've said it over the years. There were then some riders like Danilo Petrucci, who, when in his time, was 54 kilos or something. But there were times when he lacked strength, wasn't it, Neil? Especially under braking, and there were certain areas. But it's finding the balance.
It's finding the balance. And what Danilo was saying, 20% of the time it works for him. And that's when you're in maybe wet conditions or cold conditions, because you can generate the heat in your tyres with that extra weight, that extra mass. You can, the weight transfer from your body really helps. With Danilo Petrucci, he was so light. If the track was cold and the tyre compounds were a little bit hard, he was nowhere. And then you'd see him crash, and there was nothing he could do about it. So it worked against him. But you would always take the 80% advantage, whenever you could.
I think me and Danny, were the extreme situation at the opposite.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
In fact, our let's say the logo is the P.
Yeah.
We were at the opposite. Danny for sure is 30 centimeter smaller than me, and but for me it is the rider with the most technique in MotoGP, because really? With that body, he was. For me, I think he thinks the same for me. I think I don't understand how he can be so fast with that short body, because I struggle to ride the MotoGP bikes, and I weigh maybe 20 kilos more, 22 than him, and I say, how he can be so fast? But if you watch him riding in the same time, the same circuit, you feel like he was completely controlling the situation, riding the bike. Nothing less, nothing more. Really, with that body, was like a butterfly.
Yeah, I don't think, I genuinely do, and I mean this, like, for you, Gav, I still don't think you realise, and you've been around racing for 20 years, just how physical it is when you go to, let me give you an example, the last chicane at Mugello. To get a MotoGP bike through there fast, it's like a third, fourth gear chicane. It takes every ounce of strength. So when you're Danilo's size, he's good through there. He could use that power, but still, you'd see Danilo Petrucci go through there just as fast as Danilo. It's bizarre.
Obviously, actually, I remember Danilo saying that in Mugello last year, when you got to the Beyond ETSs, the last part of Mugello, that you knew you were strong through there, and then it was all about, you thought, the best line you came out with, and when we spoke to you about the Mugello victory last year on the greatest race, when we were on BT, and you said that you thought, here we go again, the same old Danilo story. I'm going to get to the straight. And this is where you knew that this is normally not your weakness. And you thought, I could do anything I like. I open the gas and they're going to come either side, mark one side and Dobby the other. And that would have been the story of your life, but it wasn't. And we were so delighted for you. I know you know that, but everyone in the paddock, everyone in the grandstands was so happy for you on that day. And it must be nice that story changed that one day back there in June in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a last to first story, because I started MotoGP, and the first race, not because I was not starting last, but I have to retire because the bike was broken. But
Well,
in
that
that year,
happened quite a few times with that Suter
yeah,
BMW.
yeah.
Oh, was it the BMW then?
The Yoda was
The
the
Yoda.
Yoda.
So,
Yeah,
and it was the Yoda. Was it?
the artisanal bike? Yeah, was like do it in like a big garage, not really in a factory.
It was like a custom built bike
but
shed.
for
I've got
that
my bike
year,
shed T-shirt on.
In that year, many times I remember in Brno, I was last every free practice, last in qualifying, last in the race, and Marquez. Sorry. Lorenzo and Pedrosa fight till the last corner, and they lap at me. In that lap, they fight till the last corner, and I've been even lapped. Fortunately, they were fighting an incredible fight, and nobody cared about it. But I was not really the happiest man on
I can
the
understand.
planet.
I can understand that. But it is a fairy tale story, yours. As you say, coming in on the Yoda bike, which was just a bag of bits that was all slung together, and you changed engines mid-season and all these sorts of things. And I've heard you talk before, Danilo, and it always makes me listening quite emotional that at that time, how you felt that you were doing everything you could, and you doubted yourself.
Yeah, Matt. Maybe it's for like the same reason. I mean, for the same reason about my weight. I mean, I've been watching the guy I'm racing with when I was racing motocross, and I was doing national championship, doing thing like this, and so I haven't started with the GP bikes with young guys like you racing in the 1 to 5 or in Moto3. I mean, like I'm thinking about Dovizioso and Lorenzo. Since 1 to 5, fighting together, one time in front Jorge, one time in front Dovi, 2 times in front Jorge, 2 times in front Dovi, always fighting. I always believe in myself, but I start really from the back of the grid, thinking that I was fast. I mean, I recognize that I was missing a lot of things, but most of it was the bike. But the situation is difficult to explain. For sure, you cannot tell that the bike is not good, but you are a rookie and you have to learn a lot of things, and everything is new. And I've been lapped by that at the second race, third race in MotoGP. I remember Estoril. I remember the first time I've been lapped in my life. Estoril, first year in MotoGP. But then after many years, I always passing through very, very hard time, believing, and at the end I was fighting with the top guys that I was watching when they were fighting 1 to 5 in like Dovi and Lorenzo when I was racing in motocross at the same time. So it was really coming from another world.
Mm. Yeah.
And I have to understand that, when I was starting MotoGP, I was just staring when the top guys passed me. I mean, during free practice, when maybe you wait someone for trying to follow him, the first time was like shocking myself, seeing coming maybe Stoner or Lorenzo or Pedrosa, because I even know some of them because I was new in the paddock. My father was working in MotoGP, but I came 1-2 races. I was in another world. I was still before MotoGP. I was in the Superbike paddock. So everything that year was new. Was like changing your life and from national champion, super stock national champion. I was test rider and finished second in the world super stock, fighting with Giuliano. And then the year after, MotoGP paddock, new bike, new tires, new circuits, new people.
Absolutely, it's massive, an absolutely massive step, isn't it? And change in everything, every aspect of your life.
Yeah. I even switching from motocross at 14, 15 years old to road racing. I mean, was quite big because with my father we have to start from something. I mean, riding. At 14 I ride my scooter, but I never do a lap with. I never did a lap on a asphalt circuit.
Amazing.
Danilo, when you came into the paddock in 2012, what was it like for you then? Who was friendly? Were there some riders that were more friendly, more helpful? Were there some riders that were the opposite, that were arrogant? What was it like?
I don't know if you remember when in qualifying in Mugello that year, Casey almost hit me from the back because I was so slow. I was pushing so hard because I was doing a qualifying lap, even me, but it was maybe 5 seconds faster. I think she thought Danilo is quite far, but I was quite far, but even quite slow for him.
Oh God!
And so we arrive almost at the bushing at the last corner after the last left right you were saying beyond the team Mandura. And he was like punching me, no? But I was knowing Casey since many times because my father used to work with KTM when he was racing in 1 to 5. And so I just immediately after the qualifying going through the motorhome of Casey for asking him sorry because everybody say, but he almost punched you and you asked sorry even to him. But because I fully understand the situation, he was fighting for the pole position. I was knowing since many years, and he asked me sorry because at the time he was fighting for the pole position, and you are really. I mean, many times I just
the hand
waving my arms to some other riders. Then I always ask. I will always ask sorry, and then we have some. But then we are lucky because in the safety commission, ultimately there is a good atmosphere. I mean, there is a really good collaboration and will to do things better from all the riders. I mean, we have passed through difficult time of some difficult, let's say, friendship about riders.
Friendships frenemies. We call them frenemies.
But the fact is that in MotoGP, the MotoGP rider, I must say that everyone is really fast, and really smart. And we are so lucky to have. I am so lucky to have riders like this, and I think there is a really good respect for everyone. So even because we risk the life together, and we share we share really, really intense emotion during a race. That even if you fight with a guy and you want to stay in front with him, at the end there is a big respect.
Respect. It's the main thing,
yeah.
isn't it? I mean, that's
But
what you want.
yeah, that year for Casey was in 2012 was I haven't. I was talking before about Danny, about the relationship, about the other riders. Some of them I already knew, but some were new, and they start to accept me like during the years, during that year, because they understand my different and difficult situation. And I have a very, very good relationship with all the riders. For sure, for example, I was talking before about Danny, and there was, I think, we just shake the hands sometimes, but I think he's so shy, and I am really shy too. And then because I really, really have a big respect for him, because he won so many races, and with a really good good incredible speed for the body he got. And maybe he doesn't understand how it was possible that a rider like me was faster year per year. But yeah, for example, with Danny we just shake hands sometimes. Big respect for both each other. I've been in vacation with Valentino some years ago. I mean, I live next to Dovi. I used to live the last year. I used to live next to Dovi. I met also Iannone one time in vacation. I have really good. I have been riding motocross bike with Jack in California. While Carl always every night invite me to drink, but unfortunately I was always destroyed after a motocross day. That I was always saying, sorry Carl, I'm destroyed. I have to wake up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning for going through California. I'm really happy because you feel okay with a lot of them, and it's really good. Now there are a lot of young riders that they are really fast coming from Moto2 this year, and some of them are rookies, some not, but the young guy, yeah. The problem was that, at the end of the story, I am talking a lot, but in 2012 I was the youngest on the grid. Now I think I am the 7th or 8th old.
That's life. That's life.
I'm climbing the ranking even on that classification.
That's brilliant.
Superb. I love that though, that you earned your respect and earned that over the years, and that's because people knew what you were riding. You had 3 years in Ioda, and I'm sure you're grateful with Gianpiero Sacchi himself, also from your part of the country, from Terni around there, and
same city.
Yeah, he's from there, isn't he?
For that reason, I have been. It was like the key for promoting all the project, all the Yoda project. I mean, racing in a bike. With a bike from Terni, with a rider from Terni, team manager from Terni. For that reason, I have to thank him. But the problem was that the structure was really small.
Yeah, it was. And then obviously Francesco Guidotti and Paolo Campinotti from Pramac got involved and brought you then onto the stage and into Ducati, where things have taken off. And we know the story of what's happened. already we've just spoken now. We've had Davide Tardozzi who was on, and he was saying that already people are talking about contracts for next year. That we've been reading all these things about Jack. There was a story I read that was you were going to be Scott Redding's teammate next year, and I've just been speaking to Neil about it and say nobody's had a race this year. Nobody's even had a race. What's going on? What's going on with everything?
Yeah. This is the most cruel thing that usually, it's not a new situation for me, because for the last 3 years I have been always without a contract. With a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
So for means that at this time of the year you start to have talking and chats with always in my last year, always with Ducati, because I wanted always to stay and racing with Ducati. So was always the first and was always that it's always the first thing that I want to do. Racing and trying to win with Ducati. So for a lot of reasons that you know very well, in this part of the year I was always competitive. Casually, I don't know why. Maybe if I perform better under pressure. If I don't know, I give something more. I give always everything I have.
Yeah, of course.
But maybe for not always with not only for this reason, I perform always very, very good during this time of the year.
Yeah.
And the problem is that I cannot show my performance, and so it's difficult to talk about the future. I know because I heard, and some people say that for sure Deca got an offer for staying in the factory team, and he deserves. And then because last year he was really good, but the problem is that I think that I'm really good too.
Of course, of course. And you're going to fight
and
your
the
corner.
problem is that the problem is that we have one seat spare, and it's me and Dovi, I think, for what I understand. But I haven't received any written thing from anyone. We are talking, but the problem is that there is you cannot do anything at the moment. You cannot do anything.
I just wonder though, Danilo, what for myself and Neil, and you agree, I'm sure, Neil. What's the rush at the moment? That's what we think, isn't it? What's the
Well, the question is,
I think not just at the moment. It is moment because we are not showing to them. We are not performing. We are not working. We cannot compare ourselves to last season because the things change during the year.
It's completely wrong.
You know?
So,
Danilo,
though,
I don't understand even to start discuss about contract even before the season starts. I don't understand the situation, but it's the unwritten rule of the paddock. I prefer to talk about the next year during the season, about in August, September, because almost at the end of the year, because you are more sure to give to have a good ride and to be fast all the season, to fight for the top 5, for the championship, for thing like this.
But yeah, you're fighting for your life throughout the year, not only on track, but you're fighting as well for your future, and it becomes part of the motivation, doesn't it? And I know all of you give 100% every race, Neil.
Yeah.
Well, where I'm confused, Danilo, every year there is a thing called a championship, right? and during each race you score points, and at the end of the year you have a placing, and that basically tells you where you finished overall the season. You finished in your first year on a factory bike, 6th in the championship, and you won the Italian Grand Prix. I'm trying to work out what the problem is. Like, for me, it would be obvious to you are still growing, not in size, but in I think mentally you're still growing. I don't believe we've seen the best Danilo Petrucci. And to compare you with Jack, we like Jack, obviously we like you, but you've always beaten Jack overall. Jack had obviously a strong finish to the season. But essentially what we're talking about here is your future is going to be decided before you race potentially this year.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Maybe.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel that this year, we hope to have some racing, and I have another opportunity. I mean, if I think that I'm fast, if we are lucky, we have a championship, Alpha Championship, a short championship, but something. I hope.
Yeah. Just so you can show.
Sure, it's cruel. It's cruel that you cannot. First of all, you cannot racing, and you cannot do the thing you want, and especially you cannot. Show your potential. But it's difficult to understand. Even if you remember, I just shake the hands of Gigi and Dall'Igna and Paolo Ciabatti 2 hours later, the first victory of Jorge Lorenzo on the Ducati. I mean, life is like a sliding door.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
It's like they already decide before the weekend, but they wait the weekend to finish, because I was already in 2018 the one fighting for the victory, and I don't want to confuse myself before that race, because I was fighting for the podium even in that race. And at the end of the race, that I think no one thought that Lorenzo could win, because 2 weeks after it was maybe 6 or 7 in Le Mans.
Yeah.
And I was second, but then from that moment Jorge completely changed, and he made the difference with the bike till he was crashed. He was crashing in Thailand. I don't think. I mean, till he was injured during the
Aragon first of all, and then into Thailand as well.
Aragon. Yeah. But in that 3 races, he had been incredible. In Mugello, Catalunya, and Red Bull Ring, he rode the bike. I mean, in a thing that it was for me completely outstanding. I mean, he made the difference really, and he won that 3 races in a very, very strong way. But so for that reason, even I have a good opportunity this year, like him, to win races, and then let's see. Maybe I have to understand if really the situation will be decided before the season starts, because
I think we'd all be surprised, but
would you?
I even think that in MotoGP you don't have to be surprised.
No, exactly.
Never.
No, that's true.
We would be surprised, but we wouldn't at the same point, because exactly as you said, because of the things that happen. I don't know whether you had a question, Neil. I just wanted to know from Danilo, in terms of just in terms of a short season, if that was a good thing for Ducati, that we might have 11, 12 races, maybe 2 visits to Austria. You know, if it was a good thing for Ducati to be shorter or not.
I don't know, sincerely. Some track of the predicted calendar of the the preview of the calendar are good, but some we don't know. I mean, there is Austria 2 times, but we anyway we have to Austria. I've been always struggling. Dovi won, so Ducati is good, but he won in 2 times in a literally amazing move. I mean, for just Alpha bike, because for that race, not Ducati won, Dovi won.
Dovi, yeah.
Because I'm even tired to listen to hear people saying that in that track Ducati is good, but Ducati is there is even a rider riding a Ducati. I mean, for sure the bike is good, and we know the bike is good. But for example, in Austria, and also Orge fight with Mark till the last lap. I mean, was a fight till Dovi won 2 times, Orge won 2 times, with a Ducati. Because I have been 5th just in 2017, and then I always struggle a lot. So for me, it's not a good track, for example, on the paper. Last year, I think I lost a little bit the way in Austria because I was 3rd in FP3. I said, okay, I'm always in difficult here. It's always a little bit difficult here, but I'm managing the situation. I mean, I'm passing through. I was 3rd in FP3, so very, very good. And then I say in qualifying now I have to push because I'm 3rd in the championship because I want to stay in the first line, and I crash with the bike and I start from 12th at the 3rd corner. I mean, stupid mistake that ruined my approach. But for Ducati, I think it's not. I mean, it's the same. I mean, it's the same for everybody. It's not the same for everybody. It's everything new for everybody because everybody. I told. I think many times during these days that we are thinking to ride at Jerez in July, at mid-July, but we haven't. Someone have to think that will be very, very hot, and the tires in Jerez have been always very, very stressed because Jerez is a very stressful track for the tire. And in July will be terrible for everything. I think will be more than Malaysia. I think 60 degrees on the asphalt. I think
and anything
on the ground,
always at Jerez over 40 degrees. And that track is like
we watched the average temperature in Jerez during July, and during the day the average daytime temperature it's in 33 degrees. I mean, at 2 o'clock.
Perfect. Easy. Why do riders always complaining that, there's no racing, now they're going to race, the track's too hot. Listen, Danilo, when you are in the commentary box and the air conditioning is on, it's no problem.
But I'm happy, but because you felt the situation I'm talking, and now you are on the upper level, and you enjoy very, very much now racing because you understand the struggle we are doing, and
exactly.
You really enjoy the race. You really understand what we are doing.
Exactly.
It's very nice always to talk with the rider. I mean, to compare the emotion, because they are really strong during a race.
Exactly, that is so true. Danilo, I want to just go quickly back to the potential situation of your future being out of your hands. If, let's just say, before July race happens, Ducati say, look, unfortunately, Danilo, we are going to go in a different direction. Then where does that leave you? Would you potentially look at a superbike ride, or will you fight to all you can to stay in the MotoGP paddock?
Yeah, for sure, I would like to. I said many times to stay in Ducati, but if this is not possible, I would like to continue in MotoGP. But for the same reason, I want to continue with Ducati. I mean, I'm growing up year per year, and I feel not satisfied about the things I did. So I want to try more, because I said, I start from last to first. So for sure at the moment I'm not first, because I just won a race, but I'm sixth, so I want to do better.
Yeah,
I want to do better this year or in the future. I want to continue MotoGP. I heard people talking about about Ducati offering me something for a superbike, but I haven't received anything. I mean, there is, for sure, Alberto Vergani, my manager, is talking with them, but the situation is the one I told you.
Yeah.
For sure, I want to remain in MotoGP. Then, if will be not possible, and I don't find a competitive bike in MotoGP, because this is possible. I don't know. First of all, I want to go through the plan A.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't exhausted
if I have
that.
to think about the B plan, because I just maybe think to all the scenarios, and I don't know if I want to switch again and trying to make a career in motor rally. Trying to race the Dakar in a short time.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I have this kind of dream.
Wow.
But I am young enough at 30 years to understand. I mean, I have a good experience. I don't know nothing about the navigation, so I have to learn all the navigation. But then this is very, very important. But fortunately, Dakar ultimately is less difficult for the navigation compared to the golden era of the Dakar. I mean, with all the road book.
Yeah.
Everything is like more driving a bike during all the terrain, all the, I mean, desert, mountain, everything. And for feeling that that during my lifetime I race in all the cat. I mean, with all the bikes.
Yeah, all the disciplines. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be. You need to speak to Jürgen van der Gerburg, who actually did it and built his own bike and went over there and is still doing it now. He's good old Jürgen.
Hang on, I've just pressed a button on my phone and I can see you two guys.
Hello. This is technology, Neil. This is where we're at. It's 2020.
Bloody hell, Danilo, you do need a haircut.
Yeah, for that reason I was talking about hair. I am not so crazy, because I usually I talk about beautiful things, not about my strange hair.
It's like Frankie Morbidelli. It's like he's got.
It's got,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
curly, isn't it? It's like he's had the perm.
Yeah. I'm at the pool. I'm at the pool. I just coming back through Tuscany, and I was just say hello to my mom, and then I go to lunch. I have all the afternoon to relax because I have all blisters in my hands.
Oh, blisters on the hands.
Yeah,
Gavin always gets really bad blisters on his right hand.
Just on this
I don't know
hand,
why.
just this one. We can't
because
work
you always hold the microphone.
That's exactly
Ah,
holding a very big
that
microphone
reason.
as well. It's a big
very
microphone.
small. It's a very small microphone.
Thanks, Danilo. Neil, I think we need to let Danilo get back to his swimming pool. But before he goes, surely he needs the full treatment.
Yeah. Right, Danilo, you've got to understand, we do this quick interview, and at the end of the interview, I've got some quick fire questions for you. Are you ready for them?
Okay.
Right, we call
ready.
these. Yeah, exactly. These are the main questions. Very challenging questions. So, but only give us quick, short answers. Okay.
Okay.
Right. When you was a kid, whose poster did you have on your wall in your bedroom?
When I was the first part.
When you was a child.
Yeah. The rest is what poster I got in my room.
Exactly.
No, I don't got a poster. I got like a sanctuary, a church of Loris Capirossi.
Oh, really? A shrine to Loris. I love it.
Capirossi.
Brilliant.
Capirossi.
Oh, that is cool. That is very cool. I like that. A lot of the MotoGP riders or road race guys ride motocross bikes. I've heard so many different lies and stories. I need to know now off you, one word answer. There is a race on motocross bikes. Who wins?
Hey, I would like sincerely to do it because I know Mark is really, really fast, even there. And also Maverick, but I haven't ride with them. Also Jack is really fast. Obviously, we are really, really good even at it. These guys, but I haven't ride with them. I know they are fast, but I haven't ride with Mark and Maverick, so I don't know. But I even in this situation I say that I want to win that race because I think I'm able to win that race.
Self-belief.
Okay.
Self-belief.
Self-belief. You've got a chance. Right. The next question then. All the road race guys are doing motocross. You've been riding with lots of people. Who's the slowest?
It's difficult because we ride sometimes. For example, with Michele Pirro, that he was always racing in road bikes, and he started to do motocross since few years. That is really, really struggle. I mean, he's really, really good riding, for example, every kind of bike, because just road racing bike, not off-road bikes. He got and so I think, but I think some of the MotoGP riders. Some of them are not riding. I think Jorge, for example, he was not training with motocross. For example, I don't know sincerely who is really, really passionate about off-road racing like me.
Yeah.
That I'm trying always to do motocross and enduro.
Right. Okay. Right. Next question. Me and Gav, you've been very kind. You've invited me and Gav to come to your hometown. This is in winter. The season's finished, and you're going to take us out for a big night out. What does that entail? What would you do?
I just say that you should come during summer. But if I understand, I mean, you come in my hometown and for sure we go to drink. I think, I mean, me and you too in my hometown.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
what would be what
No,
makes a
see,
good night?
one
Yeah,
liter of
what?
beer each, at least one and
How
a half.
many? 20.
1.5 liter of beer each. I mean, 5 liters in 3 people. I think. I just showing my city, just walking because it's quite in an half an hour. It's really nice, but it's really the in the town. I live in the countryside, but in the town is it's not big. There are many church because we live near the Vatican. There are many churches. There are an amphitheater, a Roman amphitheater. There are Roman ruins because it was an ancient Roman city. There are the like Pompeii, no?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very ruins. Yeah, like.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Really shorter. And
So-
then we can go. We can stop at every bar we meet.
A pub crawl. I love it. A pub crawl.
Pub
in
crawl.
Terni.
And then we can go and look at some ruins. It sounds perfect.
But just because we are off season, huh?
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Not during the season, out of season.
You can come during the season. Now there are 28 degrees. We can stay at the pool.
Perfect. I will have
At
my shirt off.
My mother's pool. Sorry, because I live with my mother and my father and my brother.
Brilliant.
At 30 years.
That is perfect. So the next question, Danilo, but I think I know the answer is: can you cook?
Yeah. I like.
All right. I thought because you lived at home, your mum would be doing all the cooking.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, in the last time, I just help my mom sometimes at lunch, but my mom always cook at breakfast and dinner, and I just like I was like at the hotel every morning doing a very long buffet, difficult to resist. But yeah, I help her sometimes during the lunch because I like to cook pasta, and at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Even because she was caring about even my grandfather, helping during these difficult times about moving the people, and doing things. But
That's cool.
you
can cook.
For sure.
I'm impressed.
There is a background of sadness about the situation, but I use that time for I think everybody to stay with the loved peoples. I think for that reason was at the same time, unfortunately, a good time.
Yeah, I understand. I totally agree. Last question. This is sort of the main question. It's a build up to this question. Who does the best interviews on the grid? When you're sat there and you're nervous, lots of people come and ask you questions, but who does the best questions on the grid?
You okay there, Neil?
No, just
the situation, huh?
Yeah, just.
I don't. There is an ex-rider. I don't remember his name. An ex-rider, for in the British
English television.
I don't remember. British television. I don't remember. The ex-rider.
No.
Yeah.
Colin Edwards.
Is it like
Colin Edwards.
I saw his scooter replica yesterday in a small town. His replica livery scooter from Miss Ducati, but I don't remember the name.
That is funny. Yeah. I think
if it was a feeler Ducati,
it was a big toy. I want to make a pic, but I say if I make a pic of him, you say, oh, it's a bullshit. You just because we were matching about this, it's a bullshit. You found this on internet. But I must say, I don't. It was an incredible coincidence because after riding, we have been we went diving in a river in a really really small town in the mountain in Tuscany, doing cliffs. And coming back was there was this I think was a Malaguti scooter at the time with 100 with the
that is
0,
funny.
0, 0, 0 crossed.
Obviously,
that is funny.
One. Yeah, it was funny.
Well, I told you, Gav, they did sell one replica scooter. I told you that.
That's
you
the one.
me,
That's the one scooter.
That's the one.
It's
Still going. The only one is still around. It's still alive. Fantastic.
If you want to find them, it's around Valdarno and south of Florence.
Okay, we'll go looking for it when we come next year when we come from Mugello. We stay in Florence, so we'll go and find it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Danilo, we better let you go because we've taken up far too much of your time. We are so appreciative of you spending time because it's a beautiful day over there in Italy. 28 degrees. It's grey and raining here in England, in the north anyway. So we do appreciate your time. We can't wait to see you in person for starters, but also back out on a bike soon. And fingers crossed all your training goes well and that we see you racing soon in the middle of July. That'd be perfect for us. Take care. Send our best to your mother and father and your brother and your grandfather, and I hope everyone's well. And thanks again.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, Neil. Was Hodgson the name of the rider?
That was it. Yeah.
I didn't remember. Yeah, Neil Hodgson. Yeah.
Hodgson.
Grande Danilo.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, I really had fun. Hope to see you soon.
We did too.
Yes.
Ciao, guys.
Thank you. Ciao. See you.
Ciao.
That's absolutely brilliant, isn't it, to hear from him, Neil? I mean, for starters, he's just a top lad.
So he's always been the same, hasn't he? Ever since I met him, God knows when, he's never changed. And because of that, that's why we want him to do so well.
Yeah.
I can't help but all I feel is frustration for him because he's achieved what he wanted to achieve. He's got where he wanted to get. He needs another year in that factory team.
And he might not have had the chance to
and
show.
He's probably not going to get it.
The thing is, what he was saying was interesting. I think what he was saying was it looks like Jack's got a spot and me and Dovey are fighting for a place, which I found interesting.
All right, is that I missed that?
That's how I intimated it. I may be wrong. I may have misunderstood. Other people, let us know what you think on Twitter or whatever on Facebook. Because that's what I took from it.
Right, okay. Well, the answer is don't rush that decision. It's a massive decision, that one. So I'd let the first 5 rounds of this year's championship go by.
The other thing I've got on that, and we're both fans of Dovey too, but Ducati now Dovey's been at Ducati
8 years.
6, is it more? It's 8. It was
there 8. This is his 8th season.
Alongside Mickey, wasn't he?
7th. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. His 8 years it will be. And how many championships has he delivered?
Well, but
that's
he's
his job.
Second behind. But he's finished second behind the greatest MotoGP rider I've ever seen.
He has. But that greatest MotoGP rider is still there. So you're gonna need someone who can beat him, can't you? That's sort of my point.
That is a fair point. Yeah,
which is where we know Ducati were speaking to Mark, and they'll have had conversations with him. They tried to get him, but they also have to think somewhere different, which is why they were looking at Fabio Quartararo, because you're always looking at the person that can beat that, person. It's a interesting time, fascinating time, especially given that Honda's tied up for 4 years on the top one with Marc Marquez. Yamaha's gone, the Suzukis have gone, so that's the factory where everyone's going to be looking. And
that's the fear. If Danilo gets the push, they won't then put him in the Pramac team because that's supposed to be a feeder team, not a
and they'll look for Jorge Martin and
exactly. So then,
or Baldassari is the other one they were talking about.
Right, where does he go, Petrucci?
Well, World Superbike.
Aprilia. Maybe.
Maybe, actually, maybe. With everything that's going on with Andrea Iannone, they always want an Italian. And in fact, Alberto Vigani's had links there. Obviously, Marco Melandri has been there briefly, albeit. So, yeah, it's going to be fascinating. But anyway, that aside, top lad. I can't wait for this pub crawl.
It'd be a laugh, wouldn't it? That's one thing for sure.
Without a doubt, he's
he wouldn't be drinking half a lager and going, "No, I'm a bit, my head's spinning." He'd be getting stuck into it, wouldn't he?
So not like you, then, you're saying? Brilliant. We'll get that out there as soon as we can, and good
old Petrucci.
Good. The whole Petrucci, he's top.
Bless
top
him.
man. I can't. Yeah. It looked like a nice place anyway. Cracking hair he has on at the moment. It was,
proper George Bush, wasn't it? That
George Bush. You don't mean as in George Bush's haircut. You mean as in a big bush on his head.
Yeah, as in a bush. Yeah.
Sort of a semi-afro, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Brilliant. Righto, Neil. Well, I've enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed that.
Me too.
With Danilo, and hopefully you guys at home have too. If you've enjoyed it, let other people know about it. As per usual, we'll ask you to do that. That's all we ask in return. And come back and listen to our next one, which will be not before too long. And I'm sure sooner rather than later, we'll get to speak to Jack and take his side of things, you know? And who knows? He could well be
anyone lined up, actually.
Factory rider by then. Yeah, let us know who you'd like to hear. I mean, there was always a shout for Chris Walker.
No, I'm well happy to talk to Chris.
Of course,
we get on really well.
Of course, I know you.
You know that we've done.
But I like to stir it up, Neil. I like to stir it up.
You will do when it's me and him on the bloody line.
I can't look forward to that day. Righto, let's crack on and say goodbye. And we will speak to you all again very soon indeed.
Yeah, thanks, Gab. Honestly, I love you, man.
Cheers, Neil, for sorting that out, for dealing with my inadequacies and papering over the cracks. Cheers.
Work to your strengths.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.